Hi guys, something terrible about the right-wing media is its endless quest to paint as negative a picture as possible of the most vulnerable in society, be them poor, hungry children, the disabled, or those on benefits, which I prefer to call by their correct term, entitlements. The likes of the Daily Mail and the Sun in the past would run sensational stories about, for example, a single mother with a dozen children enjoying 3 holidays a year, and use that as a means to paint a picture of pretty much everyone who is getting some sort of support from the state. It's about punishing the poor and elevating the rich. So here a Talk TV host played the old line of how easy it is to access entitlements, obviously demonstrating that he's probably never gone through the process. Have a listen.
Well, look, I mean, even if it was a comprehensive medical investigation, I think the idea of striking people off for life is an incredibly damaging one, not only to those individuals, but also to anyone looking on that are obviously taking away messages and lessons from that. There are people, of course, who they're so severely disabled that they can't properly work. And I do think that we want a country that takes care of those people. But we shouldn't be saying to people that are depressed or anxious, you can never work again. There's no way out of this for you. Not only is it damaging to the public purse, it's really damaging to their lives and the lives of those around them. And as you say, we're talking about, a greater population than a city the size of Birmingham here. These aren't trifling figures, and they're massively increasing. And it is set in a wider context of a situation where we now have the majority of not only people but families in Britain are not net contributors to the UK. So a decreasing proportion of people are taking the overall tax burden, and obviously that's an unsustainable situation. But unfortunately, I thought it was just down to assessors. It was just down to people being waved through when they shouldn't be, because I think there is a bit of that. But I think we do also have a health crisis that has come into being in this country. The pandemic was a big inflection point, and that's mental and physical health. And I think we've also got to reflect on the fact that we do have a lot of young people that currently are unable to work. And why is that? Why do we have spiraling rates of things like multiple sclerosis, things like autism, that are making it very difficult for people to join the workforce?
I think that's a good point and well worth taking on board. Don't get me wrong. Of course, there are many people who quite rightly should never have to work again, as you say, either severe mental or physical disabilities. But you talk about the soaring level of illness, mental and physical, among young people. I'm sure that's a factor, but I sense that what's going on here is there's a lot of lying going on, and these people are not being assessed properly. A quick phone call and you never have to work again, as you quite rightly say, Ben, very good point there. Why do we talk in terms of this? If I go to the Work and Pensions Department and say, my leg's dodgy and I get very depressed, why not say, okay, we'll put you on benefits. Come back in 6 months. Let's see how you're getting on, or even a year. But to just say, yep, you never have to go to work again. You're 30 years old, but roll on 65 because you never have to put in a single day's work for the rest of your life. That's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous is the idea that anyone actually believes this. See, what they could have done here is invited somebody on who actually has gone through the process, but instead they decided, let's have a chat with the chairman of the Bow Group, a pro-conservative think tank, instead of actually having somebody who has experience of the process. Oh my goodness. I have spoken to people on the channel, a number of people who have gone through this process, and they've described how people at the job centre have pressure applied to them. The staff at the job centre are being forced to force people off their entitlements and into jobs, irrespective of whether the person can do the job or not. It depends on the people that you meet in the job centre. But the general feeling, and let's hope that this changes under the Labour government, but the general feeling right up until now is people have to be forced off the entitlements and into jobs. Yeah, I know somebody who hobbled into a job center and was asked, okay, let's see what jobs you can do. How long? Maybe you can do a job sitting down. How long can you stay standing up? We can see if you can do this job. So it's complete and utter tripe, the idea that people are going to the job center and said, oh, you have a dodgy knee or you're feeling a bit depressed. Okay, we'll stick you on benefits for 6 months and then check how things are after that. Or people are calling up the job center and being told, yeah, you can stay on benefits, quote unquote, entitlements, for the rest of your life. Does anyone actually believe this is happening? Because if you truly didn't understand the process, why would you reach out to somebody who represents a conservative think tank and not somebody who has actually gone through the process? I don't understand everything about the DWP. I don't understand everything about the job center. So when I want to know, I find out from people who have actually experienced that. I don't just make stuff up. I don't just extract something from my behind and say, well, this is how things are. Because it's embarrassing to be wrong. And I've been wrong on many occasions. This guy obviously doesn't care, because his goal is not to provide information to the public. It's about making people angry. Because the likes of Talk TV, GB News and others, they want to create a society in the minds of the public that is split between strivers and skivers. And strivers are of course, people who run businesses, self-employed maybe, pensioners, of course, and then everyone else is a skiver. Everyone else is lazy, a layabout, gaming the system, or an asylum seeker or something like that. So that's society. The good people on one side and the bad people on the other. And of course, as much you can demonize the bad people as much as possible, because it convinces the strivers that they're in the right camp. It's ridiculous. And it's damaging, because as we've seen in the past, conservative politicians absorb this sort of rhetoric, this sort of information from the likes of Talk TV and others, and try to create policies based on that, which of course is going to damage hundreds of thousands of people. This needs to end. It shouldn't be like this. Media is supposed to be there to hold politicians to account, but also to provide people with information. Can we go back to a time when newspapers actually had the opinion page separate from the news? Not the opinion and then the news part. But now it's just opinionated crap after opinionated crap. And this is not going to inform the public. It just poisons minds. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.